We have all asked the question, what is the secret to peace and happiness? And what is it all worth? What if the only way to achieve it was to first go through hundreds of years of pain and torture? Today, on Horror Movies Explained, we're going to be talking about the Cenobites from Hellraiser, who they are, what they want, and how they came to be. For all you adrenaline junkies, stick around and you just might discover what puzzle unlocks your next fix. Originally created by Clive Barker in his book, The Hellbound Heart, it is said that the Cenobites are creatures that are millions of years old. They are a fictional, disfigured, extra-dimensional race united by their common interests in ritual death and torture. They serve Leviathan, the overlord who rules over all Cenobites. The deity has a lot on his plate as he is known as the god of flesh, hunger, and desire. It is Leviathan that serves as the overarching antagonist in Barker's books, comics, and all throughout the Hellraiser movie franchise. It is heavily implied that all of the sadomasochistic entities were once human themselves, all with the exception of Angelique, the daughter of the demon god Leviathan.
Finish it.
Either accidentally or with the intention to seek out pure gratification and pleasure, each Cenobite had to solve the riddle of the Lament configuration. The Lament configuration is a mechanical device in the shape of a box. Picture a way less fun Rubik's Cube, or a real Rubik's Cube, depending on who you ask. Anyways, the mystical and mechanical device acts as a door, or rather a key to the door, to another dimension. The boxes themselves were fictionally created by a mass-murdering French architect who intended to design a puzzle that would reveal deeply held secrets or satisfy the dark needs of anyone who solved it. Originally, it was made for a rich duke who had a strong hankering for murder and an interest in the occult. The box was designed to play a tune that intensified the closer one gets to solving the creepy death puzzle. When a person succeeds in their quest to solve the puzzle, they would soon find themselves surrounded by Leviathan's trusted Cenobites. And if Leviathan deemed them worthy, they would be made into one of his servants themselves. However, if the god decided they are unworthy, then they would be either destroyed through torture or sent to hell where they would be forced to experience unimaginable pain for all eternity. For those who transform into a Cenobite, they become tasked with capturing whatever unlucky victim solves the riddle of the demonic Pandora's box. Through the second and third movies, we learn that humans who have suffered from a form of mental psychosis or have a specifically traumatic past are more prone to indulge themselves in the hedonistic lifestyle that eventually lead them to the Lament configuration. For example, in Hellbound, the second movie in the Hellraiser franchise, the character Philip Chenard was revealed to be a mutilator since his boyhood. He is eventually drawn to the Lament configuration and brought to hell. In Hell on Earth, the third film, Elliot Spencer is a war vet with a post-traumatic stress disorder before he is transformed into Pinhead. Once they all completed the puzzle, they are brought to hell where Leviathan would throw them into the chambers that sometimes resembled the death box itself, where they are subject to pain, torture, and body modifications like piercing and scars. Have any of these people heard of a yoga retreat? Geez, okay, let's move on. The word Cenobite is Latin in origin and is used to describe those that partake in a monistic lifestyle within the various monotheistic religions. By this definition, the Cenobites are clerks or priests that interact with the outside world, but choose to live in an interdimensional monastery known as the Labyrinth or Hell. Hailing from a religious sect in Hell known as the Order of the Gash, where they describe themselves as explorers in the further regions of experience.
Explorers in the further regions of experience.
Though they vary in appearance depending on which movie you watch, the Cenobite wardrobe is one that is a bit more fashion-forward than other villains we know. Which is saying something because apparently this religious sect has been around for millions of years. consisting of fetishistic black leather bodysuits originally described by Clive Barker as being a blend of punk fashion and Catholicism, was also inspired by the S&M clubs he visited in Amsterdam and New York City. The design also covers anything that could give away them being a certain sex. It's a good thing they look good because the costumes are attached to their bodies by hooks and chains lodged deep into their flesh, so they don't really get to switch it up. Many of the Cenobites carry a specific weapon, and if they aren't carrying it, then it was permanently molded into their bodies. Now, you might be wondering if the Cenobites remember their human forms. Well, the answer is no, at least not on their own. In Hellbound, one of the characters shows Pinhead a picture of Elliot Spencer, his human form, which eventually leads to Pinhead being split into two separate beings. One being Elliot Spencer, and the other being an ultra-evil Pinhead who is completely unconstrained by whatever humanity he had left. Though it is hard, when killed, a Cenobite returns to their original human form. Many of the Cenobites are giving nicknames after their outward appearance. The most famous, of course, being Pinhead himself, nicknamed for the self-inflicted pins that cover his head. Butterball is an obese Cenobite, and Chatterer is named after his horrifying deformity that leaves him with an exposed teeth that, well, chatter. Each Cenobite is unique in its look and mutilation, other than the uniform leather suits, of course. Their image has changed over time, originally portrayed as neutral beings that were neither good nor evil, even saying themselves that they are demons to some and angels to others.
Demons to some, angels to others.
As the films went on, the Cenobites began to change and become more like demons that we are used to seeing on the big screen. Originally, only coming when they are called by the puzzle solver to give them what they seek, they have become creatures that are obsessed with world domination and punishing humanity as a whole. This is a direct opposition to how Clive Barker wrote them into his novel, which the franchise is based on. Barker had very specific take on the Cenobites, and you can tell how involved or uninvolved he is as the movies go on. In his mind, they're dignified people. Well, people is a strong word, but they weren't just monsters. They had a code of ethics and morals that they followed, only bringing pain to those who asked for it. And not just asked for it, but also had to solve a whole ancient puzzle to get it. They didn't run about slashing as others do. They have no personal connections to the one that summoned them. They perform their duty for their ruler with pride. Clive Barker wanted us to question them, their motives, and their world. His focus on the erotic and forbidden mimics our obsession as humans and viewers as we search for meaning in the stories that we are told. Thanks for watching Horror Movies Explained. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.